Hello trainers and welcome to another U versus match. That's right, today I have a match between Orlando and Felix, who are owners in the GBA of the Chicago Ursarings and the Buffalo Boufallants respectively. Orlando being the owner of the Chicago Ursarings and Felix being the owner of the Buffalo Boufallants. So without further ado, let's get this party started. Looking forward to this match. Very well constructed teams. I didn't go over the team preview, but I hope you guys got to at least take a look at it yourself, as Genevieve is going to be leading off on the Chicago Ursarings side, and we have Felix leading off with Ice Princess the Jinx on the Bouffalant side. Ooh, very nicely done. We see Genevieve going for the Shadow Ball straight to bring Jinx down to its focus hash. It's super effective and lands a critical hit, so I don't know if that really quite mattered, but it was a stab Shadow Ball going on to a super effective Jinx, as the Lovely Kiss does come through and connects and puts Genevieve to sleep. Unfortunately, Genevieve does not want to be out here while it's asleep, so it's going to retreat back and go straight into Suicune to take any sort of special hit that is probably going to be coming through from this Jinx, as we do see pressure start to occur onto the Jinx, and Ice Beam does connect, and look how little damage that does. It's a resisted move, unfortunately so, but we do see the freeze coming from the Suicune. Unfortunately for the Boufallants, we have the Lumberry on this side. Ice Princess does decide to flee from battle at this little bit of a second, just because we want Bonnibel to come and take its place. Ice Beam does come through from the Suicune, so a little bit of cold and chilliness onto this battlefield, and Manaphy is now taking that Ice Beam like a champion. Look at that. And getting almost all of its HP back from leftovers. It probably would need one more turn, and that's it. Suicune does decide to come back, not wanting to deal with this Manaphy quite yet, as Genevieve does come back out, and we do see a Rain Dance, yes, being set up on from this Manaphy, which activates the Hydration ability, so if any status ailment does come to this Manaphy, it will be cured actually instantly in that same exact turn. So the rest of Bonnibel's HP is now back. Genevieve is still asleep, unfortunately. That Gengar is going to want to wake up soon if it wants to have any chance of survival, as the Scald does come through and do a ton of damage to Genevieve. Unfortunately, Genevieve is yet again asleep this turn, and Bonnibel is able to go for the Scald and able to knock out this Gengar in a clean 2-hit KO. It's also boosted by the rain too. We have Amoonguss coming in to fill in the spot for the Genevieve Gengar. And we have Bonnibel deciding to not want to stay in against a grass type. And we have Pumpkin Spice coming through in case there was a potential Leech Seed. You never know. And we do see Frisk coming from the Pumpkin Spice Gourgeist small from the Amoonguss, seeing that it has Black Sludge, as it does land a Sludge Bomb and manages to poison the Pumpkin Spice. So be careful, ladies, at that Pumpkin Spice latte at your Dunkin' Donuts or Starbucks, because it is now tainted. We have this, unfortunately for the Boufallants, it was poison, but luckily it wasn't toxic poison. So we have Bonnibel coming back out here, probably because the rain turns are about to end, as Sludge Bomb is coming through to not do hardly anything to this Manaphy, as Manaphy does come back right as the rain turns are about to end. So we do see that it's leftovers. There's unfortunately no Damp Rock, not Rain Rock, to make these rain turns last any longer, as the Rain Dance is now set back up again, and Giga Drain is able to come off very cleanly from this Amoonguss and do a ton of damage to this Manaphy. Manaphy does manage to get a bunch of HP back from its leftovers, and we see right here that Bonnibel has Rest. That's right, folks, Rest. So now it's going to get all of its HP back and then wake up immediately because of the ability Hydration. So this is a really clever set for Manaphy right here. I don't know if it's a commonly used one, but I see it working out so far, as the Hydration is allowing Bonnibel to wake up at the end of the turn. And the Sludge Bomb was able to connect, but not do, again, hardly anything. Tail Glow we do see come off from the Manaphy, so now we have all four of its moves shown. We have Tail Glow, we have Rain Dance, we have Rest, and we have Scald from the Manaphy. So it is a pretty basic set, pretty simple to use. For those who don't know, I'm going to assume it's a 252 special attack and maybe some special defense, as the Rest does come through again, and now because its special attack stat is at +3, it will be doing a ton of damage to anything that it connects to. And it will be waking up at the end of this turn after this Giga Drain, which isn't unfortunately going to be doing too much. Hydration does wake up the Manaphy, and it is able to get some HP back from the leftovers, and it will probably end up going for a safe Scald just to try and get as much damage as possible, as the Scald does connect. does a ton of damage to the Amoonguss, considering that it's resisted, I believe, by 4. I'm not 100% sure on that one, so don't quote me on that, folks. And the super effective does come off from the Amoonguss onto the Bonnibel. So the rain has stopped. We have a ton of HP lost from Bonnibel, but a ton of HP also regained from the Amoonguss. So it's pretty much even. Unfortunately, this Bonnibel doesn't seem like it's going to be doing too much anymore. Its job seems like it's pretty much done. It does receive or get to use another Scald, and unfortunately Manaphy is getting knocked out with this Giga Drain right here. This is so sad, because Manaphy is such a good Pokemon, and it was such a clever set. I hate to see it go so soon, but good for the Chicago Ursarings to get themselves in the lead a little bit. I believe that is first Mon down, maybe second Mon down. I'm not 100% sure quite yet. No, it is second Mon down, because Gengar went down first. So now we're on an even playing field with the Jinx coming back out. Ice Princess is threatening the heck out of that Amoonguss, and Suicune does come in to take any sort of potential Ice Beam. Let's see if Lovely Kiss comes through. If we have a Lovely Kiss coming on for the predictions, we have the pressure exerting, and ooh, Lovely Kiss does come off from the Ice Princess onto the Suicune to put it straight to sleep. Now the Suicune's not going to want to deal with anything, but Felix does decide to switch out his Ice Princess into Darkness. Darkness, the Haxorus. Going to be able to take on any sort of hit except for an Ice Beam, which we have seen that this Suicune has. This Suicune now is going to not be able to be awake this turn, as the Dragon Dance is freely going to be set up from this Haxorus, which is very, 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 very nice. And it's going to be a +1 attack and +1 speed. So that's very good for it to set up, as a Dragon Claw is going to connect right here and do a ton of damage, bringing it down to KO range. Suicune does wake up, do Ice Beam, hits Ice Beam, and let's see. Ooh, not nearly enough. Not nearly enough, but the Dragon Claw is going to be able to cleanly 2-hit KO this Suicune, which is very good for the Boufallants side. Unfortunate for the Chicago Ursaring side. Medicham does come out for the first time, I should say. And the Mega Bracelet does activate. We do see a Mega Medicham come through. And are we going to see the Fake Out, the Pure Power Fake Out, do a ton of damage? Or are we going to see a oh, there's the Fake Out. And look how much damage that does, bringing it to KO range. Darkness does decide to switch out, probably not wanting to take another a loss right here. Wants to be able to catch something off guard, as we do see the Bullet Punch come through from Ghidorah, the High Dragon. And Medicham isn't doing nearly enough damage to this. A High Jump Kick probably would have done enough, but it probably would not have been able to outspeed, and cannot take a High Jump Kick, a Draco Meteor from this thing. As the Boufallants are able to predict the switch into the Amoonguss and land a Fire Blast. Ooh, doing a ton of damage to that Amoonguss and not going to be able to take another hit. As Ghidorah does decide to switch, predicting him to switch out again, we do see Darkness return. Darkness has returned. What are the Chicago Ursarings going to do in response? They're going to be switching out as well, so they predicted their switch very nicely. The Boufallants are doing very well, trying to keep their momentum up. And the Chicago Ursarings are struggling just a tad bit here. Haxorus does decide to come back out, as the Ice Princess is back out, not wanting to receive a Fake Out KO. But unfortunately so, the Medicham does go for the Bullet Punch, which was probably the safer play anyway. But you never know what was going to happen in this battle. The Bullet Punch is able to knock out Ice Princess, and Ghidorah, the High Dragon, is now able to come back out. Nice and shiny too. Loving all these shiny Pokemon. The Draco Meteor is able to come through and connect, and this will be able to knock out the Medicham. Unfortunately so, the Mega is now down and only able to knock out at least one Pokemon. Unfortunately so for the Chicago Ursaring side, but the Buffalo Boufallants are holding themselves strong, as your lacquer, I can't pronounce it, does come in, and he doesn't want to have to deal with this Ursaring right now, so Ghidorah is going to be running away, as the Pumpkin Spice is going to be coming through, trying to protect itself from any normal type moves that come in, as this now potentially Guts boosted or Quick Feet boosted Ursaring is going to be in like Flynn and going to be able to come at anyone, except for possibly this Pumpkin Spice, depending on the moveset we've got coming on here. The Burn is activated now, as Protect is coming through now finally, to see what his opponent wants to do, as Pumpkin Spice does safely go for a substitute, which is really, really nice, but unfortunate for the Boufallants, because they are now poisoned and behind sub, so their HP is just going to go down a little bit quicker. Urlacher, or Burlacher, I don't know, is going to be coming back and switching into the Amoonguss to prevent any sort of Leech Seed coming through, because we do not want to see that. The Ursarings want to see this Pumpkin Spice go down, because it is the only Pokemon to resist and be immune to any sort of sweep that this Ursaring now has in its future. The poison is going to be bringing it down quite a bit, balanced out by the amount of damage that has been going on. The Leech Seed is still not going to be able to do anything because Amoonguss is in. The Sludge Bomb is going to be able to connect and break the Substitute. There we go. Substitute is now faded. And the Scoregeist is kind of just trapped in here at this moment and not able to do anything, because there's nothing on his team that probably wants to take a Sludge Bomb from this Amoonguss. Not safely, at least. And there's not much that this Pumpkin Spice can really do at this moment except prevent a sweep. As the Will-O-Wisp does come off from Pumpkin Spice onto the Amoonguss, at least bringing down some residual damage, which is very, very nice and very, very helpful. The Sludge Bomb is able to connect and knock out the Pumpkin Spice. With only 8 turns left, we'll see how this battle goes. The trainers seem to be battling very hard, and both teams are doing very well in this match. It's pretty even at the moment, but the Amoonguss is taking not only Black Sludge recovery, but is also taking some burn damage as well, as Ghidorah does decide to come back, and I don't believe that's going to want to take another Fire Blast. Instead, he goes for the Draco Meteor to try and get a nice Dragon Stab and see how much damage he's going to do, because with combination of that burn, it probably will be able to knock it out. Let's see. Special attack unfortunately has dropped. The Sludge Bomb does connect, not doing a lot of damage, but unfortunately he does land the burn, not the burn, the poison. I am so sorry. As the Black Sludge is coming through, and the poison's coming in, doing some damage, and the burn will be doing some as well, bringing it down to about 9 HP. He could go for another Draco Meteor, which would be nice, but I don't believe he's going to do so. We'll see right here that he actually does decide to stay in and go for another Draco Meteor, as Bullacker is back in the match and is going to be able to hit this take this Draco Meteor. We'll see if it survives or not, and it does very nicely too. Unfortunately, so this Ursaring is probably going to be able to outspeed it and knock out this Hydreigon, which was a very good win condition for the Boufallants. But he does decide to withdraw Ghidorah. Probably wanted to preserve it just a little bit. Unfortunately so, if he switches it in again, unless it's cleanly switched in, he won't be able to do too much damage. He does decide to trace the guts from this Burlacher, which is kind of good. So if he does end up getting a status condition on itself, there will be at least some sort of boost on there. The Outrage does decide to come off from the Garchomp, and the Porygon 2 is going to land a nice Ice Beam, which is going to do a ton of damage, if not knock out the Garchomp, and it does cleanly knock out the Garchomp. So this is very, very even, very close. This is going to come right down to the wire, and Burlacher is coming back in again. Burn, which is very good for it, and unfortunately so, as the close combat is coming through even, and going to be doing a ton of damage and knocking out Dux, the Porygon 2. I never mentioned that it was a Porygon 2, but I just said it was Porygon, I believe. Dux has fainted, unfortunately so, and now I believe we are on the last couple Pokemon right here. Last couple turns, we have Ghidorah coming back in. There we go. I was just assuming that Ghidorah would come back in. The poison is going to be able to do enough, unfortunately, this turn to knock it out, I believe, and he does take abuse to that with the Protect, bringing it down. Yep. Ooh, living down with like 1 HP. The burn is going to be bringing it down to another 1 HP, so one of them has to attack now. Unfortunately, the Hydreigon is going to be able to land the attack and get the KO off of the Burlacher. And it will be getting the KO. But also, we have the Toxic, or the Poison, bringing down the Ghidorah. So now we have an empty battlefield. Ooh, and on the last turn, right? We have Darkness right here with very little HP. And we have that Amoonguss still in the back, I believe. There it is, the Amoonguss. Let's see how this match turns out. All it's going to take is 1 crit for that Darkness to be able to knock out this Amoonguss. Let's see, Dragon Claw does come through. Ooh, Amoonguss faints, and that is game, everybody. Ooh, unfortunately for the Chicago Ursarings, the Buffalo Boufallants have won. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know I enjoyed this battle very much. If you did, please be sure to leave a like, to subscribe to the channel for more GBA matches and my own Pokemon stuff related to this channel, if you have not done so already. Don't forget to leave your friend codes and battle codes in the comment section below. Be sure to stay tuned for more Alpha Sapphire Let's Plays, for more of these GBA matches, for potential future Pokeology. Not potential, it will be coming, but sometime in the near future, hopefully. I'm not 100% sure. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know I did. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!